You know those health rules we've all heard a million times? The ones your grandma swore by, the ones you see all over social media. Well, how many of them are actually legit? Today, we're going to find out.
So let's just start with a big one, shall we? For basically our entire lives, we've been told that breakfast is the one meal you absolutely cannot skip. But is that true? We're going to get to the bottom of that one, and a whole lot more. Because really, when it comes to your health, you deserve solid answers, not just a bunch of confusing advice. Okay, let's dive in and bust some major myths, starting with some of those old-school remedies you might even have in your kitchen right now.
We've all been there, right? You're feeling a little under the weather and someone chimes in with a traditional, time-tested cure. But do they actually hold up when you look at the science?
The classic sick day meal. A lot of us just assume its power is all in our heads, you know? It's just a warm, cozy placebo that reminds us of being taken care of. But it turns out there's way more going on in that bowl.
Yeah, the science is actually on Grandma's side with this one. That hot steam you're breathing in, it helps clear up all that stuffiness. The warm broth is amazing for keeping you hydrated. And get this, some studies even suggest it has anti-inflammatory properties that can actually ease your symptoms. So it's comfort and a cure.
Okay, here's another one. We always hear that cranberry juice flushes out bacteria. But the truth is, it's actually a lot smarter than that. Cranberries have these incredible compounds, say it with me, proanthocyanidins, that basically make the walls of your urinary tract super slippery so bacteria can't get a grip. It helps stop an infection before it can even really start.
All right, let's move from the medicine cabinet to the dinner plate. The world of nutrition is absolutely overflowing with myths, so let's try to clear up a few of the biggest ones right now. We see it plastered everywhere, don't we? Farm fresh, freshly picked. The word fresh has pretty much become a synonym for healthy. And look, fresh food is great, but it is not the whole story. In fact, sometimes it's not even the most nutritious choice you can make. Now this is where it gets really interesting, because it totally flips the script. That fresh produce might have been sitting on a truck for days, then on a grocery store shelf, losing nutrients the whole time. But frozen and canned veggies, they're usually processed within hours of being picked, locking in all of that good stuff right at its peak. So seriously, don't be afraid to hit up that freezer aisle. The whole gluten-free thing has just exploded. But here's the reality. Unless you have a specific medical condition like celiac disease, you probably don't need to avoid it. For the vast majority of us, whole grains that have gluten are actually a fantastic source of fiber and all kinds of essential vitamins.
And what about that age-old question for anyone trying to eat more plant-based meals? But where do you get your protein? Well, the answer is pretty much everywhere. The real key is just variety. If you eat a mix of things like beans, lentils, tofu, and nuts during your day, you can easily get all the essential amino acids your body needs. No problem.
Okay, so we've covered what we put in our bodies. Now, let's talk about the body itself, how we move it, how we treat it, and what it really needs from us to feel its best.
All right, time for a big one, especially for anyone who's ever hit the gym. We all do it, right? We stretch before, we stretch after, all hoping we can wake up the next day without wincing. But are we just wasting our time?
I know, this one might be a bit of a shock, but the research is pretty clear. Stretching is absolutely great for your flexibility and it can feel really good, but it doesn't do a whole lot to stop that next day muscle soreness. That ache you feel, it's from tiny micro tears in the muscle as it gets stronger, and really only time can heal that.
The magic number. It's probably on your fitness tracker right now. It's the goal we all know and shoot for. 10,000 steps. It just sounds so official, so scientific.
Except it's not. The whole 10,000-step thing actually started as a marketing campaign in Japan for a pedometer back in the 1960s. It was just a catchy slogan, not a medical recommendation. Isn't that wild?
So what does the real science say? Well, research shows that for older adults, the biggest health benefits, we're talking a seriously lower risk of premature death, really kick in around 6,000 steps. Now, more is still good, of course, but the most dramatic jump in health comes from just going from inactive to that level. Okay, for our final section, let's zoom out a little and take on some of those broader, unwritten rules about what it means to be healthy. Let's be real. Your body doesn't have a little alarm clock that suddenly starts storing more fat after 8 p.m. The real problem with late-night eating isn't about the when, it's all about the what and how much. Think about it. When we're tired, our willpower is shot, and we're way more likely to grab those easy, high-calorie snacks. That's the real culprit. Juicing seems like such a great health hack, right? A super fast way to get a ton of vitamins. But the process strips away one of the most important parts of the fruit, the fiber. Fiber is so important for digestion and, crucially, for making you feel full. So when you eat the whole fruit, you get all the same vitamins plus all that essential fiber.
And that brings us full circle all the way back to the question that started this whole thing. We've talked soup, we've talked steps, we've talked stretching. Now it's time for the final verdict on breakfast. And the honest-to-goodness truth is, there's no single rule for everyone. Some people absolutely need breakfast to feel focused and ready for the day. Others actually feel better if they wait to eat. What truly matters isn't the timing of one meal, it's the overall quality of everything you eat all day long.
And that perfectly sums up the real point of all of this. Maybe the biggest health myth of them all is the idea that there's one perfect set of rules that works for every single person. Your body is unique. Your life is unique. The best health plan is the one that actually works for you.
So, the goal here is to get curious, to think a little more critically, and most of all, to listen to your own body. The final question isn't from me, it's for you. Now that you're looking at things this way, what health rule are you going to question next?